Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitattvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakhattvameva Tvameva Vidyadvaridam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We're discussing how to succeed in life, and just a broader definition is, since success depends upon individual to individual, we define success is that one is successful if you accomplish what you want. That's a simple definition. And therefore it involves a set of goals that I want to achieve in life. It can be simple sense enjoyment, or want to accomplish something that I am proud of, or I want to accomplish something that everybody is proud of. So essentially, is it significant enough? The success, is it significant enough? How do I define significance? Significance from my point, if my horizon is small, it should be significant in that horizon only. If I expand the horizon, then my goal and the significance also expands. And as one speaker says, that the goal can be infinite for a human being, because there is nothing impossible to achieve in this world. So you have to aim for higher, and the higher the goal, obviously, the difficulties to achieve that goal also will be difficult. So I can have a highest goal, at the same time intermediate goals towards reach that, because it's a step-by-step process, a time-dependent process, and it involves a significant effort from my part. So we have, for any success, number one, the goal; number two, the means to achieve the goal. That means there are different types of goals, and for that I have to approach a proper means to arrive at that goal. If my goal is first class, to get a first class, if I am a student, then I had to achieve that goal, proper study towards achieving the goal, because the first class depends upon the writing the examination appropriately, and not knowing what the type of questions it's going to be, I have to prepare enough my mind for any type of questions, so that I can answer the questions in a way that the examiner will be happy with it. At the same time, it's a focused answer for the specific questions. So when I am executing that, I have to make sure that I have necessary ingredients to accomplish the task. So therefore, a goal setting is one thing. A means to achieve depends upon varieties of things that are needed, a secondary things that are required in order to accomplish the goal. So means become important. There may be several means to get my first class. I may try to bribe somebody and get a first class. That is also a goal. But in the process, I may be punished, he may be punished, and I may be in the later fail in life because I do not have the requisite qualifications to accomplish something else. Essentially, I'll get caught. So the goal and the means has to be appropriate. Appropriate means it should be ethical or dharmic means. And in order to accomplish, I need to have, in addition to the goal and the means, I have to have a self-effort And self-effort requires a proper discipline both at the physical level, emotional level, and intellectual level. And to accomplish that, a proper discipline of this execution, in order to execute the means or process, I had to deal with, in addition to these three, to overcome the obstacles, because I had to depend on something other than myself to achieve these goals. In the worldly goals, because we are talking about success materialistically, therefore I had to depend on people or the environment for my success, which I may be able to adjust the environment to some degree, but may not be able to adjustment all the way to my requirements. And the people I had to depend on have their own agendas, and therefore I cannot dictate them unless I am bossing over them. Therefore it's difficult to control people, and if I can control, of course I can control to make sure that they fall into my place so that I can achieve what I want. Like a big boss want to make sure that everybody under him works properly so that he can achieve his goal. But therefore I should have, in addition to the goal and the means and my self-discipline, also how to deal with the environment or the changing environments and the people also. Social relationships are also required if my goal depends upon somebody else other than myself. It can be family, it can be the local society, or it can be people who are. To give you an example, when we moved to India we lived 6 months in India and 6 months in States, and we want to set up the computer system, and when we called a guy who is an expert in computer, he said he will come around 6 o'clock. So we cancelled all our appointments and waiting for 6 o'clock, and 6 o'clock came, 7 o'clock came, 8 o'clock came, and night came. We had to close the doors and sleep on. When we called, he said, I am coming. But when he came next day 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock he did come, but not which day. But that is a system. From his point, he is dealing with his own criteria, what has to be done first. But since I had to depend on him and I had no other way of doing it, there is nothing much I could do. And this is the process that we had to take into consideration in execution, that there are environment and people that do not meet our expectations. So I should have a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. So what am my plan B? Plan B is just keep quiet and use my computer later. If I need an urgency to use computer, then I have to go outside or do some other place. This happens a lot, particularly in India. If you get used to it, because you depend on people, and people don't have time concept. We say we'll come at this time, they won't come at that time. They take their own time, because for them time is not important. Whereas for you, the time is because you have to cut down everything else in order to accommodate them. And if you don't know when to accommodate, then you are open-ended for him to expect any time. So this is always a problem. But the problem has to be recognized, because there is no way I can change the system. And therefore, I had to accommodate myself in terms of plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. If no other plans works, then I had to postpone my achievement to accommodate these inconveniences. Environment may not be conducive for what you want, for the study. A lot of noise will be going on. And to give my own example, I wanted to study the Advaita Siddhi, and the teacher was so kind enough to teach me personally at home, in spite of all, because he was teaching outside but in a different language. And he was an expert in the Advaita Siddhi text. It's a very, very logical text. It's the most involved Navya Nyaya. Means a lot of vikalpas and so on and so forth. And I was listening at the same time, the cooking is going on and racketing going on in the kitchen. It was very difficult to concentrate what he's saying, but that's exactly the environment that I had. I could try to listen whatever he could, and also I could record what he was, so that I can listen again and again to ensure that I was understanding what he has. So unfortunately, because I live only 6 months in India and 6 months in States, I had to go out of the States, and we could not renew that. So this is always a goal in terms of what need to be achieved, also important. So what the classification we started for how to succeed depends upon different types of people. A materialistic people, agnostic or atheistic people who do not depend upon any higher forces, they also have to deal with the people and environment, and they try to accommodate as much as they can to do, and they may go around all sorts of ways in order to accomplish, because they have set the goal and determination will help. One important thing in life is to succeed is, if you have a determination of a goal, when there is a will, there is a way. That's what it says, right? When there is a will that I had to do it, then the Lord, whether you believe in or not, provides an environment conducive enough for you to exploit the environment to achieve your success. You have to exploit the environment, or you have to make use of the environment, even if the environment doesn't seem to be, but within the environment, so that you can achieve what you want. And those are the people who are successful, because they also face the same problems. And this there's actually Bhartrihari's sloka on this. Arabhyatena kalu vigna bhayena nichaihi arabhya vigna vihita viramanti madhyaha vignai punah punarapi pratihanyamanaha arabhya muttama janana parichajanti. This is a Bhartrihari song. Arabhyate kalu vigna bhayena nichaihi. The people who are lower grade, they have a high goals, but they are afraid to start, because they have said, what if I fail? Or what if these small obstacles, vignam means obstacles, and thinking of the obstacles, or if they encounter the obstacles, they stop right there, because I cannot exceed, I give up. These are called, Bhartrihari calls nichaihi, the lower cadre of people. So arabhyatena kalu vigna bhayena nichai, vigna bhayena. So obstacles can obstruct my growth. Therefore, with the fear of that, fear of not able to get what he wants, he will give up right away. That's called the lowest category. And arabhya muttama janana parichajanti. The middle class of the people, they start and they do evaluate, and they go step by step until one big obstacle comes. Then they give up, because this is unsurmountable obstacles. What am I going to do? I cannot succeed, I give up. These are called the middle madhyama, middle people. And arabhya, say the arabhyatena kalu vigna bhayena nichaihi arabhya muttama janana parichajanti. Arabhya uttama janaha. So say punai punarapi pratihanyamana. The obstacles keep coming and coming and coming. As you go along, obstacles will come. Obstructions will come, either from the people or from the environment or from unknown sources. And that is, what should I do? Keep persistency is important. You may fail, but the failure is now, you know, I have to get around that problem. So we were mentioning in terms of Ajya Dharaya Srotasa Samam, that sloka says, that is from Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, the Upadesha Sara. So you have to approach the goal like a love for the goal has to be there. When there is a love, then there is a determination also. And it is like a ghee, that means sneha bhava, love for the goal. Or it should be like a river going towards the ocean. So river wants to go to the ocean and merge with it. That's its goal. But in the process, it may encounter all sorts of obstacles. Small obstacles, it jumps over with joy, making a lot of noise. But big obstacles, if it's like a mountain or something, it cannot go over the mountain. So gracefully it goes around the mountain. In the process it may go opposite direction and then come around, because it never forgets the goal. Bigger obstacles, it goes around the obstacles to find another way to circumvent the obstacle. That's what employ means. So a person who wants to be successful has to be on lookout for, if very small obstacles, he should be able to overcome with his self-confidence. If the big obstacles, he has to find an alternate plan B, plan C, plan D in order to accomplish what it is. That is the requirement for a success. So how to succeed? Persistency to reach the goal becomes an ingredient force, and that becomes a mental stamina. That is what the strength of an individual, of a successful person involved. And we have to talk about significance in the accomplishment. Is this really significant? Now we are talking about a different degree of order of the success now. Even from a materialistic point, even I don't care if I the God or not, still is this significant enough? So how do I measure significant? Yes, it is significant. Am I happy with that success? I should have done this, should have, could have, would have. All those becomes a problem when I find myself that is not significant enough. In order to accomplish myself, I want to become a millionaire and all that, we have to recognize that other people also want it, and therefore competition is there. And if the competition is in such a way that each one is trying to grab from the other, nobody will be successful. I may be successful initially, but in the meek moments the other fellow will grab, or when I am looking at the other side, the other fellow will grab, because he also wants the same thing. The only way to succeed in that case is to be cooperative enough that to establish a common success, so that he will be successful and I will be successful. Together we are achieving the higher goal of reality. That becomes a significant successful, because that is going to last longer, because the competitors have become a cooperative people now. And in the process, you succeed, he will succeed, and that becomes a significant success. So everybody has to pitch in towards that. Now you are coming to yogic method of what Krishna calls is yajnartham karma anyatra karma bandhanaha. We'll go into that detail later, but this is a process of success from the first stage people, that is who are materialistic people. But it's also a process for the second stage where religious or the materialistic religious people, they are materialistic but they are religious. Now what is the religious means? They believe that there is something higher force that gives results, so they want to be not in the black list, so they want to be in the good list. They run to the temples, they do all pujas and all that, and what for what? Not for God's sake, but for the sake of materialistic success. Oh Lord, give me this, give me that, give me that. Lord says, but every time this fellow will come for a begging things. But he considers that this is a weakness of the people. Let them ask until he realizes that this is not the end of life. He has to do something else. So therefore, materialistic religious people they believe in God, they believe in Ishvara. Ishvara means the Lord, and He is the one who gives the results of the action. Does the prayer will give the results of the action? That's always a big question. So what is the role of a prayer? Do I get what I want? We'll go into the next detail later in the next category. But at this stage, at least on the materialistic point, a simple answer is yes. Yes for what? Yes, prayer helps. In what way? Immediate help is the agitations of the one who is seeking gets calmed down. Because now I recognize, oh Lord, please help me to get this. So there are two friends who have joined together as a cooperative adventure, and they started a company, and they wanted profits. Both two partners are going to the temple every day in different places, I guess, and each one praying the Lord. Oh Lord, I'll be very happy if the 30% profit I get out of my investment. The other fellow is also praying, oh Lord, I'll be very happy if you give me 80% of profit. Both are praying every day, both are baking the coconuts every day and all that. Lord looks at both of them. And what happens? In the end, they got 50% profit. Now what happens to them? The guy who was asking for 30%, he is elated, joyful. Oh Lord, you are so beautiful, so blessing. I expected only 30% and I got 50% of profit. You are really great. And the other fellow is cursing the God. He said, unnecessarily I broke so many coconuts for you and you only gave me 50%. I wanted the 80%. Same result, different attitudes, because my expectations are different. Should I not expect the properly, or is it wrong in expecting 80% compared to 30%? There is nothing wrong. The question is 80% or 30%, or is it the effort that you are doing? Is it appropriate to get that percentage or not? God is not going to give you extra anything. That's what I said. Prayer doesn't give. God didn't give you extra 50%. There is one great bhakta called Kulashekar Alvar in the Mukunda Mala. He says, Yajyat bhavyam bhagata bhagavan purva karmano rupam. Oh Lord, why should I pray to you? He is a knowledge person. Why should I pray to you, give me this, give me that? Because you are not going to give me anything extra. Even I pray. Or whether I don't pray also. God Krishna says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu namedveshosti na priyaha. I am equal to everybody. Whether you come to the temple or not, I am equal to everybody. So God doesn't give any favors just because you are bringing coconuts. But what God does is, Samoham sarvabhuteshu namedveshosti na priyaha. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham. Whoever worships me, they are tapping the energy from me. They are with me. So even though I am equal, samoham, I am equal to everybody. Namedveshostinam, neither I favor anybody, nor I unfavor anybody. But those who pray me are tapping something from me for their success. What are they tapping? Number one, they are tapping the confidence, number one. They're tapping the mind equilibrium of the mind, because even though there are agitations and the environment is not conducive, or the people are not conducive, because of my helplessness and the anxiety, anger, frustrations and depression, without going into that, I am getting the help from the Lord, and therefore my mind becomes calm and quiet to think properly what should be my action to overcome the obstacle that I have. That a prayer does. A bhakta will think that, oh Lord, you have given me this avenue for me to succeed. He will be thankful to the Lord. In the process, my mind becomes more and more humble to discover new ways of dealing with the people or dealing with the environment. That's what success and that's what prayer means. So materialistic religious people bring God into picture, Ishvara, because he is the karma pala data. So Krishna calls them artho artharthis. The artho means only they call the Lord when they are desperate. At least they will call. or artharthi. For everything they want, they will always do puja or go temple and visit temple and give the list of things that I want, and contended that Lord is going to hell. If God didn't do whatever they have, they will again go to the temple and again pray, because they think that their prayer was not sufficient. That's all. They don't blame the God. Some people say, "Oh Lord, I've been, but I got a catastrophic," and they may curse the God and all that. But after some, they come back again and then realize, because they recognize that there are certain things beyond our control. That's why there is the prayer of serenity is there. If you go to Google and ask for what is the prayer of serenity, you can see that. It says, "Oh Lord, let me know that which I can overcome, the obstacles that I can overcome. Give me the strength to overcome them. Also those obstacles that I cannot overcome, let me so that I can give up not even trying for that. But also give me a wisdom to know my limitations versus in terms of obstacles versus my capacity to deal." Just as the river knows that it cannot go over the big hill, it goes gracefully around it in order to circumvent the problem that is encountered. So the materialistic religious people as well as the religious materialistic people work hard, and some work on their own strength, others get the help of the Lord in order to accomplish that. This is the second set of people, which are the materialistic religious people. And there is a third kind of people in this second category, religious materialistic people. Religion comes first, material comes next. That means they follow religious dictates in order to accomplish the materialistic ends. So that's why that's called samskaras. Samskaras is everything in according to Hinduism, everything is samskara. Where the garbhadhanam is a samskara. The child is the namakaranam is samskara. Vidya parambhanam is samskara. Upanayanam is samskara. So everything is samskara, and vivaham is also samskara, where the action is done for evolution of the human mind. And therefore they follow a religion and gain the materialistic things in the process. So that's why in the marriage itself it says dharmecha, arthecha, kamecha, naticharami. So dharma, artha, kama, and fourth one is their moksha. These are considered as the purusharthas. One has to be successful. Purushartha means this is the goals that a human being has to gain, and he needs the help of wife in order to execute some of the dharmas. That means some of the religious activities has to be done with the help of wife also. So therefore it says dharmecha, arthecha, kamecha, naticharami. So that's how they go around the 7 steps. They go around in order during the marriage time. But they won't say moksheta. Will come back as the fourth category of the people, where moksha becomes my purushartha. That means my goal. We are talking about different success and all that. That is what becomes the final success of a human being. So these religious materialistic people, they do the rituals for obtaining the results here and hereafter. So they believe that karma, action, gives the results now or later, and that becomes a dharma. And there are types of actions that are to be done, which are called nitya naimittika karma. Nitya naimittika, the daily obligatory duties and occasional obligatory duties that one has to perform as a member of the society, as I have given birth in this life as a human being, depending upon your qualifications. There is a sattva, rajas, tamo guna. I won't go into details of the caste, varnashrama, but here these are human qualifications where the people who want to know sattva guna, his goals are different, because sattva guna is knowledge dominated. So rajoguna, action oriented, and tamo guna is a labor oriented. He doesn't want to think, he doesn't want to do, all he wants to do is the gain. Today's my goal is to achieve, but he does a dharmic way. So everyone, the religious, materialistic people follow dharma. What is dharma? Dharma in a simple sense is simple ethics. I don't want to do something to others what I don't want others to do to me. That's a simple statement. I don't want to do something to others where I don't want others to do to me. I don't want to hurt others because I don't want others to hurt me. I don't want to steal anybody's property because I don't want others to steal my property. This becomes a value system. These are also ethics. These are not only logical, because by legal laws, but also there is a moral laws. I don't want to cheat anybody because I don't want anyone to cheat me. So this becomes a dharmic way of achieving what do I want to achieve. I want to achieve the highest one, either in any profession that I am doing for my subsistence. I want to be the highest, greatest. A king wants to be the greatest king. So whatever profession that you are in, you want to succeed in a dharmic way, even when other people are following the adharmic way. That's the dharma. Because they may do it, you may try to stop the adharmic way of others. That becomes a dharma. That's what whole Bhagavad Gita is. Because the Kauravas wants to possess adharmic way the property that doesn't belong to them. Then it becomes your dharma to stop it also, and that becomes, in the process you may lose life, but you gain essentially equanimity. But dharma will not only in this life, it will come with you. So the one who protects dharma will protect you. Dharmo rakshati rakshakaha. This is a statement. If I protect dharma, dharma will protect you in the end. It may not protect me from the point of the laukika, other people's consideration. Hey, he was so good and trying to do, other people they ruined him. He may not, but this dharma is not at this life level, it goes beyond this life. That recognition that I want something else becomes an important criteria for religious, materialistic people. We'll go into more details in terms of, because this has to be clear, and we will go into next classification. We are talking about materialistic, non-religious people. We are talking about the materialistic, religious people, and now we're discussing religious, materialistic people. We'll go into later the spiritual, religious, spiritual people, spirituality, and these two we'll go discuss more in the next talk. With this we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.